Hello everyone, thanking in today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 will take us around the 24th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles very much around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the 732 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. That'll take us into the early part of December. Can you believe it? Running down the clock towards Christmas and the end of 2020. It's unbelievable, isn't it? So I shall get on with the 10 to 14 day for you in a moment. Just say that weekend forecast has been released. So as always on a Saturday, your weekend look ahead going to be a very unsettled week. Lots of wind and rain to come. And after a very mild start, it will eventually start to turn colder as well. Even the chance of a little bit of snow coming along in the north later on in the week. Have a look at weekend forecast, see what's going on there. We will touch on it, of course, in this video as well. Now, before I do anything else, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody for subscribing to the channel. We're picking up loads of subscribers at the moment, especially when we're live streaming. So thank you so much to all of you for subbing the channel, telling your friends to sub as well. We are now at 8,100 subscribers for GavsWeatherVids. So we're at 8.1k. Got to put on another 9k to get to... no, we're not. We've got to put on another 900. We've got to put on another 900 to get to 9k subscribers. So yeah, we're 100 down. Got to put another 900 on to get to 9k subscribers. But thank you so much everybody for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, then please make yourself known through the comments. We are picking up lots of subscribers, man, as I say, especially when we're streaming. So please let us know through like the live chat. When we're live streaming, if you just subbed, and also subsequently in the comments with this video and all of the other videos as well, and say hello to us, and we'll say hello back to you. But thank you so much, thank you so much to all of you for the support. Now, I did a massive live stream last night, so we actually had our biggest ever live stream for GavsWeatherVids. So I mean, here we go. This is what I see at the end of the stream. When I stop the stream, I get this come up, which gives me all of the data in terms of what happened during the stream. So 3.3k playbacks on last night's live stream. It lasted for 1 hour 22 minutes. That comes out at a total of 8 days watch time. Can you believe that? So for everybody watching all together, that comes out at 8 days of watch time. Average watch time was 3 minutes 4. And new subscribers, so we picked up 8 subscribers during that live stream as well. And we peaked, and this is absolutely astonishing, for that live stream last night, we peaked at 258 concurrent viewers, which is the biggest live stream we've ever done in terms of a genuine viewer count. There have been a few where the viewer count has been a little bit off and a little bit astray, but that was a genuine viewer count with a peak of 258 concurrent viewers at 11 PM at night UK time, later than that European time. Midnight, I suppose, European time. So, I mean, it's absolutely incredible, that live stream. It's an amazing night. And thank you so much, everybody, for making it so special. I hope you enjoyed it. If you wasn't able to watch it live, it's on the channel, so you can watch it on catch-up whenever you want and see what happened. But it was a fantastic night. So thank you so much, everybody, for making last night's live stream such a very special night. We had loads of super chats as well. So thank you to all of you for super chatting and whatnot. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. We're going to be live streaming again, of course, tomorrow from 6 o'clock in the evening. More about that at the end of the video. Right, let's get on then. So we're going to start off having a look at what's happening in the tropics. So we've got 2 tropical storms. We've got Theta, and we've got a new one. Remember that red X we was talking about yesterday, the disturbance area? That is now Tropical Storm. I think this is Tropical Storm Iota or Iota, but I'm not sure. I think it's Iota. So more about that in a moment. Let's deal with Theta first of all, though. So Theta is still there. giving maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,000 millibars and moving eastwards at 8 miles per hour. Clicking on theta. This is going to go post-tropical, become a post-tropical depression. Any time the current position is just there, it's going to gradually move northwards and go post-tropical. So by the beginning of next week, that should be pretty much the end of theta, although it may, it will be a significant area of low pressure still, but in terms of a tropical disturbance, that will be the end of theta by the early part of next week. And then we've got Iota, I think it's Iota, just here in the southern Caribbean. So this one is giving maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,005 millibars, and it's moving west-southwestwards at 5 miles per hour. This is predicted to become another very significant hurricane. So at the moment it's a tropical storm just here. It's going to power up to hurricane status by tomorrow, by the look of it, and then head towards Honduras and Nicaragua. Very, very similar track to the one that theta took, actually. So it's going to move in this direction, becoming a major hurricane. This will become a major hurricane, Category 3 hurricane. Can you believe it? By the beginning of next week, as it slams into the central Caribbean coast of the Caribbean coast, Central America. So it's going to be a very, very significant impact indeed. Here we go to discussion. We can see that this is going to give maximum sustained winds of 115 to 120 miles per hour as it makes landfall somewhere close to Honduras. Unbelievably powerful. And there is still time for this to power up even further. The National Hurricane Center saying key messages. Iota is expecting to strengthen and be a major hurricane when it approaches the coast of Central America. There is a risk of dangerous wind, storm surge and rainfall impacts across portions of Nicaragua and Honduras beginning Monday. Hurricane watches will likely be issued for a portion of this area later today. Through Wednesday, heavy rainfall from Iota will likely lead to life-threatening flash flooding and river flooding across portions of northern Colombia, I should say, and Central America. Flooding and mudslides in Honduras and Nicaragua could be expected by Hurricane Ita's recent effects there. Resulting in significant impact. So they just cleaned up from Hurricane Ita, and now it looks like Iota is going to cause even more havoc to that central part of America. Absolutely incredible hurricane season, this, and tropical storm season. It's unbelievable what has happened. We always expected that this would be a very big season, but nobody, I don't think, expected it to be quite as big as it has been. It's been unbelievable. And still, as of the middle of November, when we should be running down the clock to the end of this hurricane tropical storm season, still it goes on with more major hurricanes. I do not know if there's been a major hurricane this late in November, or somehow I think it's unlikely that there would have been, but there we go. It looks like we're going to get one. So all eyes will be on Iota in the coming days. Right, coming back to home, very mild November is still underway, so central temperature as of yesterday, 13th of November, is standing at 9.5. That is an anomaly of 2 degrees above average. Very, very mild November. That's probably going to tick up even more over the next 2 or 3 days. This will be in the 10s, I would have thought, by the early to middle part of next week. But then we can expect a bit of a drop because temperatures will get colder through the second half of next week. How long for remains to be seen, but temperatures will get a bit colder through the second half of next week, which of course will lower the CET. These are the 500 millibar high dolly flow charts from Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the top and the GFS on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in the high pressure, low pressure. being moved around by the jet stream running above red. Extrapolates high pressure blue to low pressure. So with the ECM, we've got a trough of below average heights in the middle of the North Atlantic, with above average heights up towards Scandinavia. So a bit of a battle going on here. The low pressure in the Atlantic is trying to bring in westerly winds, but of course the high pressure over Scandinavia is trying to maintain easterlies. Exactly where that goes remains to be seen, of course. The GFS is very similar, except it's more unsettled, really. So deep low pressure is to our east, over and also to the west of the country as well. And income westerly winds also, with the GFS. High pressure is centred down to our south across southern parts of Spain and northern Africa too. Winds are westerly, of course, with the GFS. So both of them are quite unsettled, but the GFS out of the two is the more unsettled solution. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles next couple of weeks. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average. Very mild at the moment, a little bit of up and down, like warmer and colder sectors alternating, but overall it is mild right now. It's going to become very mild through the early part of next week as well. Middle of next week through to the latter stages of next week, temperatures will take a dip, so temperatures will cool off through the middle and latter stages of next week, before possibly beginning to lift back up again as we go into the last week of November. We're going to Stoke-on-Trent, by the way, today for our ensemble location. I should have said that. But yeah, there is a cooler or even colder spell showing up here through like the third week of November. Just there, that's a cooler to colder spell. And then possibly towards month end getting a little bit milder or a little bit less cold. And just loads and loads of precipitation right from beginning to end, actually. So it's not much sign of settled weather. Looks like we'll have regular bouts of rain coming in from off the Atlantic from today. It is a very wet and grim day out there today, by the way. If you haven't ventured out yet, it is pretty grim. So right way from today all the way to the end of November, really. Just regular bouts of rain to come. Temperature anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of November are going to be milder than average. Precipitation anomalies from the 14th to 22nd of November are going to be wetter than average. A mild wet week on the way. This is the latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net with low pressure in the Atlantic, so it does look very unsettled. We're bringing up a mild or even a very mild sort of southerly to southwesterly wind, so it remains really, really mild out there, but there's loads of low pressure in the Atlantic, and there is more low pressure to come, and further bouts of rain will be on the way. Eventually we will find the position of the low changing a bit and allowing some colder air in from the north. That's lurking up here and up here. That will start to move southwards eventually by sort of the middle second half of next week, but for the moment the weather remains mild or very mild. It's our latest UK Met Office forecast chart. It's looking for Tuesday, bringing up a very mild southwesterly wind, so there'll be outbreaks of rain in the northwest on an active cold front, but despite that, at least it will be mild. We go through to Wednesday, and low pressure again is heading in from off the Atlantic. Again, there's an active cold front here. Let's change the colour as it is a cold front, so there'll be an active cold front there. That's going to push in that direction. It'll clear away all the mild air that we've got there. That'll get shunted off eastwards, and as the cold front clears through, we'll start to pull colder winds in from the north to the northwest. Very significant area of low pressure there. Midnight on Thursday could give severe gale force winds to Scotland, and a band of very heavy rain pushing through as well. And then by the time you get through to Friday, that's gone and out the way. We've opened the door to a cold northerly. Here comes a cold northerly. And there is an area of low pressure to the southwest. Quite interesting. That's sort of engaging with the cold northerly airflow, and so I mean it's almost certainly going to bring light rain to some parts of the country. There will be a northern edge, and of course if the northern edge is far enough north and the air is cold enough, then you wouldn't rule out a chance of a few flakes of snow or something on the northern edge. But it just depends how cold the air is from that northerly wind, and also how far north the low pressure gets. In southern areas it's almost certainly just going to be rain. as it is November, not January. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking. So again, a very mild southwesterly push on Thursday, really mild. And then an active cold front sweeps through from Tuesday to Wednesday. Here comes cold front, clearing away all of those mild southerly winds and allowing colder air to begin to push in from the north and the northwest. By the time you get through to Thursday, yes, we've got cold northerlies down into the northern half of the country. Still trying to maintain a mild southwesterly flow down in the southwest. There's an area of low pressure involved with that. So sometime around Thursday, Friday, may get some heavy rain into the south. And but cold in the north, and on the northern edge there may be a few little flakes of snow or something like that. Then back to wet and windy weather next weekend. Next low pressure rattling in from off the Atlantic, sweeping in. And moving up towards day 10, it remains unsettled with some days quite cold, winds in from the northwest, some days milder, winds southwesterly. In more extended range with the GFS 6Z, actually it turns very mild. In the last week of November, we begin to pull up those southwesterlies once again. That's how we look as we get to the last day of November. As far as we can go with the GFS today is to the final day of November, Monday the 30th. And yeah, there we are. We're looking cool and showery there for the last day of November. GM looks like that. Southwesterly winds continue on Tuesday, very mild, but there will be rain sweeping through during the middle part of the week, introduced a colder push of winds from the north to the northwest. Then we get this ridge building over country within cold air. So the end of this coming week turns cold with night frost in particular. And then back comes the low pressure as we move up towards day 10, turning unsettled again. And milder, or a little bit milder anyway, with winds back in from the west. ECM looks like that. So again, very mild southwesterlies on Tuesday, continuing to Wednesday. By Thursday, we're pushing the active cold front through, turning the air colder. Winds turning into the north as we come to the end of the week will be colder. Could be some snow showers across northern and eastern parts of the country, and night frost as well. The ECM makes more of this ridge of high pressure at the end of the week. So that suggests as we go into the weekend, actually it is quite cold with some pretty harsh overnight frost. Gradually, low pressure begins to move back in from off the Atlantic, although you'll notice that the high, I'm sure you've noticed, that the high is getting up towards Scandinavia here next weekend. It's having a go at generating a Scandinavian high, but not successfully. Up to day 10, it looks like the low pressure continues to be driving in from the Atlantic. However, there is still some influence from high pressure to the north and to the northeast, and so these low pressures are really struggling to come in from the Atlantic and potentially threatening to start sliding away to the southeast. If that happens, then you probably see a re-strengthening of the ridge and the wind turning into the east. So out of the three models, I think the ECM looks like it's the one that's trying to maintain colder weather, really, into the last week of November. This is a rainfall forecast based on that ECM run. Lots and lots of rain coming up over the next few days. So rain will continuously be coming and going until the second half of next week when we push that cold front through and we turn things drier and colder. There will still be showers around, and they may well turn wintry up in the north, but generally turning drier and colder through the second half of this coming week. And then into next weekend, in comes this weather system from off the Atlantic. This is bumping into cold air, so there is a chance of a little bit of snow turning up across northern England, particularly across Scotland. Generally rain further south. This is a downgrade on what the ECM was forecasting yesterday, by the way, in terms of a potential snow event for next weekend. So primarily rain, but a little bit of snow possible up in the north. That pushes through. We've got another, let's go back to it actually. We've got another system coming in there to the southwest by day 10. 240 hours. So here it comes. And again, this one is pushing to quite cold air. So there's the suggestion there, day 10, just a little bit of snow over the Welsh mountains, perhaps. Just a little bit more seasonal, I think, from the ECM compared to the GFS and the GM, which are milder. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 24th of November. We have 30 members of the ECM Ensembles with a ridge of high pressure over and to the east of the country, northeast. Low pressure is out to the west, desperately trying to get in. However, this high pressure is keeping us mainly dry And at this point, pretty cold as well, with chance of night frost, I would have thought. And then 21 members of the ECM ensembles have low pressure to the east and also to the west, with a ridge up to the northwest. Very messy, but this is probably quite chilly too, bringing in the wind from like a north to northeasterly direction, I would have thought. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Now, this is interesting. So this gets us to the 29th of November, virtually to the end of the month. We have 29 members of the ECM ensembles that in 2 weeks' time are producing an area of high pressure over Scandinavia. Southern Scandinavia, so it's kind of like centred north of Denmark to the south of Sweden. But it would be bringing in like an east to southeasterly wind, which I think would be cold. It's not like a Siberian easterly. The high pressure would need to go further north into like mid-Scandinavia for that, to pull in a proper easterly wind from the Urals. Nevertheless, it's the end of November. It's an area of high pressure across southern Scandinavia. The wind will be coming in from certainly a southeasterly direction, if not easterly, and so it's coming off the continent. I think that could be really quite cold and, you know, really quite frosty. They have 22 members, maybe even with a few snow showers in the east. And they have 22 members of the ECM ensembles that are so much more unsettled. They're like completely flipped around opposite, with low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. So obviously that's going to be a minor solution with westerly winds unleashed, but it will be very, very wet as well. That's a minority option. It's a significant minority, but it is a minority option. The majority option is actually for high pressure over southern Scandinavia, and dry, frosty weather for the end of November, the 29th against the 22. So we shall see where that's going, but potentially November could end on a cold and frosty note, or a very wet and windy note. Or it could be a blend of the two, I suppose. Right, finally, CFSV2. These are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 14th to 20th of November. The coming week has low pressure out to our west-northwest. High pressure is to our west-southwest. Winds are in from the west. So it's Atlantic-driven. And for most of the week, it's pretty mild. Week 2 is the 21st to 27th of November, still with low pressure to the north. Let's change the colour. High pressure is to the south. Winds are still westerly. So the CFSB2 today is not interested in anything particularly colder through the final week of November. It looks generally Atlantic driven and westerly. Week 3 is going to be the 28th of November to the 4th of December. The high pressure event is developing to our east. Low pressure is out to the northwest. It's a battle going on here. The low pressure is trying to keep the wind in from the west. The high pressure to the east is trying to bring in like easterly winds. And in between, there's probably a weather front or weather fronts that could be bringing heavy rain. And so, yeah, that's a proper battleground UK type scenario. And then lastly, week 4 looks like this. It's going to be the 5th through to the 11th of December. We have low pressure to our north then. High pressure is in the middle of the Atlantic. Also got high pressure across like Germany and Poland. So this is really messy, isn't it? I think we're trying to pull in like a northerly there. I think trying to pull in like a northwesterly to northerly. But the high pressure here is complicating the issue and could be bringing like a southeasterly type pattern. Either way, it could be quite cold actually. But either if we get like a northwesterly to northerly, obviously that's going to be quite a cold wind direction. If we've got like a southeasterly with high pressure, let's say centered over Germany, then we're likely to be having quite a bit of frost as the air is drifting in from off the continent. So quite complicated as we go into December. Right, so if you enjoyed this video and you're enjoying the content on the channel at the moment, please can you click like, make sure you subscribe to the channel where you'll be able to see future weather content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids and let us know in the comments what you think. And we're grinding our way to 9k subscribers, and we're going to get there as soon as we possibly can. So thank you so much everybody for helping us on our grind to 9k subs. Right, that's it for your videos for today. Now, tomorrow we've got the 11th Winter 2020-21 update coming up for you. It's going to be a hurricane special this week. So we're just talking about at the start of this video how big this hurricane season has been. It's actually been a hyperactive hurricane season and a record-breaking hurricane season for storm names, for named storms. So we're going to be looking at winters following very big hurricane seasons. Winters following hyperactive hurricane seasons for ACE and all of that sort of stuff. So it can be absolutely fascinating. And that will be in part 2, though, of the 11th winter update, but we'll show you the analogues. So that'll be coming up on Monday. Tomorrow's update will be focusing on things like seasawing temperature anomalies, ENSO, what's happened over the past week with Eurasian snow cover, solar activity, all of that sort of stuff will be in part 1. And then we'll have our hurricanes to winter analogues in part 2 on Monday. Also, tomorrow I've got a Christmas update for you. I'm going to be live streaming as well. So it's going to be absolutely great. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The live stream will be from 6 o'clock. And so we'll be looking at we'll be looking at winter data as well as shorter range stuff. We'll look at winter data and the winter data this week is going to be CFSB2 and the Beijing Climate Center. We've got Beijing Climate Center seasonal model updated for this month, and we'll show you all of the data with that for the winter, and that will coming up within the live stream on Sunday from 6 o'clock. So I shall see you then live at 6. But before then, 11th winter update and a Christmas update too. Going to be epic tomorrow. So keep checking back to all of the videos and the live streams and the updates and everything else. Right, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.